Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Wajaha and I've got a lovely video for you guys today. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 different ways that you can make your first 5 figures in crypto. So as always, let's get straight to it. Now, there are actually an infinite number of ways that you can actually make money in crypto. For those of you who have large amounts of capital, I'm talking 6 figures, 7 figures, for you guys it's easy, but for people coming into the space with small amounts of capital, which I think is a lot of people, a lot of these retail investors, we don't have that much money to begin with. So here are 3 different ways that you can actually make some good income, make your first 5 figures with very limited or very small amounts of capital. Now, the first way is through airdrops. Now, what actually are airdrops? Airdrops are essentially free tokens that are given to someone or to a user who has usually participated in that particular protocol or ecosystem somewhat. And it's kind of a reward from the protocol or the ecosystem as a way of saying well done or thank you for getting involved, essentially. Now, we've seen loads of these in the past. We've seen things from 1inch, Uniswap, ENS, even some of the big NFT ecosystems as well, who have airdropped their users, people who have interacted, got involved and tried to just dig in deep. And for those guys, it's been pretty lucrative. Most of those airdrops have been 5 figures by themselves. And the question is, how can you actually get involved? Well, in my opinion, I think most protocols or most ecosystems in this space will have a token of some sort. And for a lot of them, they will potentially airdrop them to us, to us all. So what you can actually do is you can go to a website like DeFi Llama and you can have a look on there and see all the different protocols that exist right now that don't have a token. And who knows, maybe one day they will have a token of some sort. Now, one that I've talked about many times on this channel are the kind of layer 2 solutions for Ethereum. We've got Optimism, Arbitrum, and ZK Sync. I'm pretty sure that some of them will have a token of some sort. So what can you do to get yourself ready for it? Go and interact with those ecosystems, bridge some funds over and just have a play around. That's pretty much all you need to do. If you're early enough, then if they do go on to release an airdrop of some sort, you may be eligible for it. And yeah, the past has shown that it is possible. It is a very easy way for us people who have limited capital to get involved and actually make it very quickly. Now, I've actually got a video on my channel where I talk about how to airdrop farm, and I've even got a video that I recently uploaded where I talk about Arbitrum, bridging to Arbitrum and getting involved with their ecosystem, because that's one that I think has a high likelihood chance of having an airdrop of some sort. Obviously, time will tell, we don't know for sure, but definitely go check them out and get started with airdrop farming, because that's a very easy way. Doesn't really require much capital, requires a bit of time, requires a bit of learning, which is always a good thing. And so just get started with that and hopefully we can make some money. Now, the second way involves finding undervalued altcoins. Now, this is something that requires a bit of capital. Doesn't require much at times because, to be honest, getting a 10 to 100x in crypto is pretty possible. I've hit it a few times. Does require a bit of research though. You can't just go around, close your eyes and aim with the dart at CoinMarketCap's top 100, because to be honest, most of them are trash in my opinion. And to find the correct 10 to 100x, you really need to dig in deep. You need to get a proper understanding of that particular project. You need to look into the team, the tokenomics, the utility, put it all together, come up with the pros and the cons. And in fact, there's even more to it than that, but you have to spend a lot of time researching. And if you come across the right project and it ticks all of those boxes, then it might be the one where you can find the next 10x to 100x. And you can see this for yourself if you just go on CoinMarketCap and just look at some of the altcoins that have performed really well over the last year. I'm talking about things like Luna, talking about things like Solana, Phantom, etc. There's loads of them actually that are in the top 100 now that have already performed really well. Well, you'll see why they've performed well when you try them out and look at their ecosystems. Having said that, there are a number of altcoins that haven't yet made their 100x or their 10x. Of course, it's way easier said than done, but I think it is one that is possible for all of us here. Like I said, it just requires a bit of time and a lot of research. Now, another point is that this is a little bit more difficult when we're in kind of bear market conditions, similar to kind of how we are at the moment. You won't really be seeing many of these undervalued altcoins performing exceptionally well. However, there will be a time in the future where we are back in a bull market, and in those times, if you buy when things are cheap or buy when things are bearish, generally, if you've done the research and it's the right project, then there is a good chance that it does perform really, really well. Now, of course, this is no financial advice. I obviously don't know which way the markets are going to go in the future, but I personally think that in the future we will see a lot of bull markets, and there will be a lot of opportunities to find these undervalued altcoins, which then go on to perform exceptionally well. And I think we're definitely going to see, a number of 100x performers. Now, unfortunately, most of the gains with some of these big altcoins like Ethereum, Cardano, Polygon, Avalanche, Solana, Phantom, the big altcoins, I don't think they're going to 100x again. But if you just keep doing the research and find some of these smaller altcoins which have a lower market cap, then I think there is a chance there. So get working, get researching, and good luck. The third and last way that I want to talk about in this video is through whitelists and ICOs, or initial coin offerings. Now, there are a number of different platforms that you can go on, and you can basically apply to get into the initial coin offerings for some of these protocols or projects. An example is Solana, which is one of the biggest altcoins. It's in the top 10. It's got a colossal market cap in the multiple billions. And if you actually tried a couple years ago, you could actually get into the ICO for Solana. And you could go on a platform like CoinList, sign up there and register for it. And if you were lucky, you could have probably got in. You would have spent a small amount, maybe $500, and you would have got your initial amount of Solana, which was extremely cheap back then. Now, if you had held that until today's date, I'm pretty sure that would be almost 6 figures, definitely 5 figures for sure. And with such a small initial investment, you can get into some of these insane projects very, very, very early. Now, is it difficult? Of course, because at times some of these projects are really hyped. They've got a lot of backing, and therefore a lot of people are trying to get into these ICOs at the same time. There is a bit of luck involved, but if you are lucky, you can actually make it. Now, I've got into a few ICOs on CoinList, and most of them have performed really, really well. I'm not just talking about doubling or tripling your money. I'm talking about literally making yourself your first 5 figures. So my advice is to go and have a look and see what's coming out. This blockchain industry is only growing. There's going to be many, many, many other projects and ecosystems coming out in the near future. In fact, I'd say that out of the top 100 right now, most of them won't even be there in the near future, and they'll be replaced by bigger and better things. Those bigger and better things aren't out yet. So when they do come out, you might have a chance to get in right at the very start. Look for these ICOs and do your research, of course, because that's the most important thing. Now, with these ICOs, you don't usually get large allocations. You usually just get a small allocation, maybe $100, $200, $500. I wouldn't be expecting these ICOs to offer $5,000, $10,000 allocations, not unless you're a VC. For general retail investors like you and I, we're going to get small allocations, but those small allocations can actually end up giving you a large return. So do your research and definitely check out some of these projects that are potentially coming out in the future years. So those are 3 different ways that I think that you can make your first 5 figures, starting from very small amounts of capital. You've got airdrops, you've got undervalued altcoins, and you've got whitelists and ICOs. Definitely do your own research, of course. None of this is financial advice. It's just a few things that I've experienced and a few things that have helped me along the way. So hopefully I can help some of you guys along the way as well. And that's all I've got for you today. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe to my newsletter. For those of you who are subscribed, you would have seen that I've written about this in the past already. It's free to subscribe, so go subscribe there. And of course, I'll be back with another video soon.